Second part is trail side. And option one there is, I believe, the playground in the back area.
Correct.
Uh,
Playground in the back and also temporarily patching those couple of real bad spots up in the parking lot itself versus, redoing the entire parking lot at this time.
What's your opinion on redoing the parking lot? That is kind of pricey, but
Yeah, I mean, it's pricey. I think we could, if we allow them to patch it, and not knowing what Mother Nature's gonna do to us next year for winter, I think we could get another year out of it or so. At least kind of gives you a number to know, okay, next year we gotta set aside X number of dollars to redo that parking lot. I know it's always a concern about getting slapped with these high bills, not knowing about it, but I thought at least we've got a number. Yeah, next year it may be a little bit higher, but at least you won't be looking at the full round figures, $30,000. At least you'll know that's what you had to have.
will we be able to put that in next year's budget, or
Sure.
so we could actually wait on the parking lot then?
You could approve it tonight and just, within your motion,
Okay.
to forward it ahead into the next budget cycle.
The one thing we didn't do in our first motion, we didn't say what company.
Oh, sure.
You wanna go with Pavtex since they're cheapest?
I would say pave tech.
Okay. What's your opinion on trail side?
Well, I think it probably comes down to, do we want to wait a year and use that money for what we need in the tech department? I guess if, the consensus is that we can wait a year without,
It is breaking through. We did we did cut the center out, Bob probably remembers a couple of years ago. The center actually stayed pretty decent. Years ago, we had a big water problem there before they put the rocks and that around there, where the water sat in the lot all the time. And that's what basically took the lot out. If the people parked like where the handicapped was, it was really good, because during winter, they'd come out and go out right on their,
but then again, if we spend money patching it, and we're gonna do it in a year, are we just wasting money to patch something for a year?
Actually, the patching part of it amounted to $322.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a big
Wasn't a big
cost
chunk of it.
versus, because the playground there, they actually, they actually have to cut it out, repack the base, and then put blacktop in to match the existing surface, where the playground, or the parking lot, just to patch it, was $322.
So is that the difference between the $29.93 and the $33.15?
Yes.
and down the road, if you walked around back there, there's a lot of big cracks, you probably saw it. And even where the buses park, since that was marshland at one time, you could see where the outside duels are really starting to do
Sure.
so in a few years, we're gonna be spending some big bucks on the back to probably have that done, but right now it still gets by, so.
Okay.
That whole area back there, even in the back where the buses go around the back side of the building, I mean, in a heavy rain or with the thaw in the winter or in the springtime, that's nothing but water back there. I mean, those buses go through 6-8 inches of water constantly till it finally, disappears, and I dump so much salt back there to try and keep it safe, so that whole driveway at some point in time is gonna have to be looked at, or some kind of drainage, put in back there.
Like you did in the front possibly?
Yeah. There, or even just to swale it along, either side of the drive,
Yeah, because the hill comes right down to the
to
dock.
direct it out, down into the detention pond in the southeast corner.
So
But
what would
this
you?
is, yeah, and this doesn't address any of that. though.
No,
No, not at all.
It's just
Not
something
at
I thought I'd mention, that we're gonna
Sure.
be looking at it in the future, because I spent some time there yesterday walking around, looking at it quite a bit.
Yeah, the area.
Sure.
As I'm walking around, the lady's got her van there,
It's
she's
right
up on the
in
hill, and
here.
it must've been kinda shady, because as
So much
I'm walking
water
closer to her
standing
van, all of a
in
sudden,
the
you're
spring or in the real heavy rains.
wait, I'm not gonna steal your van.
Now, will that be like maybe next year in the
Right.
future?
Start looking.
So,
2-3 years, depending on
2-3
budgets, depending
years.
what's going on, if something else, if we have some money left at the end of the year, we can start looking at that. That's gonna be a major project.
okay. I don't know if, we wait a year on this, if they can just roll that into the job then.
And they might be
Part
able
of
to,
this.
Right.
so, just go with option one though.
That's what I'm thinking. If
That's
we're
what
gonna do
I'm
the tech stuff now, and we can wait a year for this.
And Pavtex, the lowest one again, I believe?
Yes.
At $29.93. Asphalt,
Oh, wait,
contract.
no, I'm sorry, no, look at the sheet I just gave you, 33.15, I'm sorry.
Okay,
That was, the 29 was before the 322.
okay. So then actually asphalt contractors would be the cheapest.
Yes.
Which company would you like to go with, Tom?
Cheapest is fine with
And
me.
they've
We're
done good-
comfortable with the jobs they do.
Yeah, they're the ones who actually alleviated, the other companies wanted a lot more money, and he said, no, you can do what we did with those stones and that, and it actually worked out pretty good, saved us, what, several, 20, 30,000, I believe, at the
Yeah.
time? Yeah. Okay,
Now,
so-
I mean, if you're gonna, and I'm just gonna throw it,
Okay.
if you're gonna break it down that far, if you go back to Fox River, Asphalt Contractor was actually considerably cheaper just on the bus canopy.
I know, but I'm gonna roll that all into one for the,
Okay,
this year, since we're only doing the one option at Trailside,
okay.
I figured, you know, a few $100s is a few $100 savings. So I'll second that, and we'll move that to the board to go with just option one, then to go with the Asphalt Contractors then.
Okay.
You have anything else to bring up for us?
That evergreen resealing.
The Evergreen
Oh,
Seal
yeah.
Coating.
We have, if you've looked at the parking lot out here, you can see where a lot of cracks are in that. We've replaced that, we've had them come back once already to fix it. But the winter again is taking its toll. We have, the cheapest is $62.34. Next one is $83.70, and then $74.99.
Right.
What's your opinion on that one? Go with the,
Again, if we're comfortable with the contractor, then I would say go with
Yeah,
the
it's
cheapest
Asphalt
option.
Contractors.
Yeah, same people.
you made a motion and I'll second that, so we'll move that to the board then also.
Make a motion to go with Asphalt Contractors for Evergreen.
Now, there was one additional one that just came out, and it's kind of minor, I didn't get it on here in time because the guy just sent me the final bid today. If you can picture Woodfield and, excuse me, Trailside, the flagpoles. Okay, that 4x4 square, for whatever reason, when they built the buildings, they never put anything in there. It was just ground.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, we've tried stone, we've tried paving blocks, we've tried all things, you know, we're constantly getting knocked out. At $425 each, Pave Tech would dig that out and put in blacktop.
That one we wouldn't have to bring to the board, will we, since it's under?
No.
No, that's, we could just
So
take
go
out
ahead
the
with that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clarification on the evergreen resealing, is it okay if we do that this budget cycle yet?
Yeah.
Since we have the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the,
That's track sealing, recoating, and restriping.
Yeah, okay.
Complete package.
Going back to the very, very first topic where we were looking at Fox River, you were talking about the basketball court piece. There seems to be support of doing it. It's more so what accounts are gonna be coded for the project. My question is, do you just wanna approve the project and then we move ahead with it since, and then we just figure out how we're gonna code it?
wasn't the other big question of whether to keep it a basketball court or make it a parking lot?
Yeah, that's been ongoing for,
Yes.
Right.
you're right.
The only problem with that is then we'd also have to have the entrance and exit.
Right.
We'd have to redo that and dig it down and put in enough to support vehicles.
Vehicles,
Right.
right.
That's true too.
And I know Mary was concerned about whether or not if we turned it into a parking lot versus the basketball, about the budget coding of that. Remember?
And I know I was one of them
There was some
originally when we
laws
went
that
around,
changed.
actually when we went around with you a couple of years ago, we talked about it. And the more I thought about it, okay, now I gotta dig it up, because you're not just walking there, you're bringing vehicles in there. You're gonna have to dig up that and put more support underneath the basketball court. It's kinda, and we're adding parking in the back already.
Right. Well, a big question too is it used as a basketball court?
That's the thing.
Which I
Daily.
can't answer.
Mhm.
Daily, okay, well then.
Fox River kids use
Alright,
it
well
daily
then.
for both lunch periods.
Okay, then that answers that
The-
question.
The gym teachers have even expressed some interest that if it was in better shape in one thing or another, that they would maybe go out there and use it for outdoor basketball when the weather permits, for
Okay.
gym
Alright,
classes.
well, that answers that question.
Yeah. And, you know, as long as our district superintendent, and I know Susie is good with whatever we decide, so
Okay, then.
let's do that, and we'll have an informal meeting to verify it.
Right, I was planning on scheduling a rec committee meeting in the June, because they have another, the rec committee has it's actually gonna be a joint buildings and grounds and rec committee piece, because they have a project that they would like to present
Okay.
overall. And both committees should probably hear the details on that, so.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard what Kathy had said to me just like 2 minutes ago, the state's really tightened up on what the community service fund can be used for, and a parking lot probably isn't gonna fly. I mean, it's.
Basketball would fly. 'cause
Yeah,
it's-
the recreation
yeah.
piece would probably,
Parking lot,
so.
Aaron was headed concerned.
Anything else for us on?
The only other piece is just, tonight when you approve the projects, because the Evergreen Blind project is $8,000, it's over 5. So we'll just embed that into your motion.
You have anything else for us? Other than we have a leak in the building right now?
No, that's where I'm going
Here?
next.
Yes.
Yeah, it's from the weekend, I'm in a hot water supply line.
Oh,
Interior, not on the outside.
okay. That can happen anywhere, anytime.
Right on an elbow, so.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Dan, you got here at the right time.
Hey, perfect timing, huh?
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Good.